It's your girl Jada J. So as you guys know, I'm now doing videos off my phone. Keep getting a lot of new tips and stuff like that from the big brother. The Jedi. Check him out if you haven't already done it. Because usually I'll just be learning these things as I go, but it's a lot easier to just have him be like, okay, you know. Of course, with the editing thing, I did get this new app called Action Director. So I might have some new stuff going on depending on what the app allows and stuff like that. But I'll keep looking for different stuff. Um, just we'll see. Okay. So anyway, this is the Haves and Have Not season 6 episode 4. What is the name of this episode? That's not the name of it. The Lion. The Lion. Yep. It's The Lion. And as I told you guys, we're working on things with lighting. We should have some better lighting. In a couple of days, gotta go get some light bulbs and stuff like that. And just because you know you just got lamps around the house, but there's like no light bulbs. So I mean, this is what we're working with right now. All right. My apologies. Because I know it's hard to see my eyes sometimes. There they are. Moving on. Okay. So the Haves and Have Not season 6 episode 4, The Lion. Okay, so we pick up right where we left off last week. Now remember last week, the John, Jimmy freaking Star from Austin and Ally. I'm over it. It's Jimmy Star. I don't know what his name was. It's Jimmy Star. So Jimmy Star came in there. And Hannah was like, you should let this one go, Candace. And she was like, well, you need to get out. And she was like, no, you ought to let him go. He's your father. Okay, so we pick up right where we left off. And Jimmy Star is like, what? And then Hannah was like, you heard me. He was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but y'all need to go and work this out. I'm leaving. And he was like, excuse me, you know, talking to Candace, like, I gotta go. Maybe I'll hit you up later or something. I'm out. You know, and then Benny was like, what? He was like, Mom, what? Some random dude just comes in here and that's her father. And he's like, Candace, did you know about this? And then Candace was like, no, of course not. And so she was like, wait, Mom, I thought you said that you didn't know who my father was. She was like, I don't. She was like, then what? She was like, but he could be. I said, now come on, are you serious? I figured it might be something like that. I don't know. So he's not her father, everybody. At least not that she knows of. Okay. And we're about to get into that very soon. But yeah, so she's like, he could be any of these men coming in here could be your father. Okay, she was like, nah, I don't understand you. She was like, you know, you're a beautiful girl and all that, but why you let these random men come in here and do all this stuff to you? Like, you don't know them, like, you don't know. And she was like, oh, you're a saint? She was like, I never said I was a saint. But this is one thing I never did. She said, what's that? She was like, sell my body for money. She was like, oh, so your mouth says. She said, excuse me? She was like, I'm sure the men didn't pay in money. She was like, but I know they paid. She said, because I know, when I see one. And I thought she was going to slap her because usually that's what Hannah does. She gets real out of line. She just does that good smack across the face. I could have done with that there. I really could have. I really could have. But okay, she didn't smack her, whatever. So she's like, you know what, little girl? I understand we're going through whatever it is that we're going through. But what you won't do is talk to me like that. Okay. So then she tells her, okay, well, you need to leave. She said, nah. And she said, you know what, Candace? Does it really bother you not knowing who your father is? And she's like, well, what do you think? So, okay, we're just going to go right in. She tells her he was a rapist. She was like, is that what you wanted to know all this time? I wasn't going to tell anybody, but here's what happened. She was out with the girls, having a good time. She said she was out partying, drinking till like 3 in the morning. She walked home. It was first her friends were with her. Then, you know, they had to depart because they had to go to their houses. And she's like, she couldn't find her keys, but she was 2 blocks away, so she wasn't worried about it. She gets, you know, like 2 blocks away from her house, and this man is like, hey there, pretty lady. You all right? She said, yeah, I'm fine. She was like, I don't know what it was, but something about that man made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. That spooked me. Like, I had to go ahead and turn on the lamp, you know, just because I was like, oh, snap. You know what I mean? Because you know how you just... Like, I haven't been there, but like that, you know, how you walk in and you see somebody shadow you, like, I don't know what she about to do, but I'm prepared, you know, don't try to run up on me, you know what I'm saying? So it was that type of, you know, so she was like, I knew it was something. So she was like, I started walking real fast. She was like, I wanted to run, but I don't know. I thought that would have made me look like more suspicious. Oh no, she said, but my feet wouldn't, like they just wouldn't. And so she's like, she gets to the porch. She's like, but she can't find her keys. She's knocking on the door. She's like, but her aunt was not home. She was out. We find out later her aunt was a freaking druggie, drunk, and all that. So she was like, so I just crouched down on that porch. She said, I waited 2 hours for my aunt to come home. She finally did, so I'm in the house. I go to my room. She was like, and I must have passed out because when I woke up, he was on top of me, and he said, if you scream, I'll kill you. So she was raped. Okay, all she could see, because I guess it was dark in her room, all she could see was his nose and his eyes. And she said every once in a while he would rise up, and he had this tattoo, a lion. So Candace is crying. And we don't see Candace cry that much, so it was really like, oh snap. I wasn't expecting like a miraculous, mom, I never, like, that would have been fake. So whatever. So with this story, she's like, she tells her that, everything, I told my aunt what happened a couple weeks later, and she said it really changed my aunt. She ended up going to church. I started going with her. She said it was fine, and I found out I was pregnant. And she said, I didn't want no rapist baby. I didn't want no rape baby. I wanted an abortion. But my aunt, being all high and mighty now, she decided that if I was going to live in her house, there would be no abortion. So she was like, all this time, she was like, I'm getting bigger and bigger. She said, and boom, you kicked me. And I knew finally, like, something is mine. Something loves me and I love it. She said, and when you came out, I knew I loved you, and you had this light in your eyes, even though I could see, the darkness in his eyes and his nose. You were beautiful, then you're beautiful, now I love you. And it was a very good scene, because, Crystal Fox is the fantastic, and of course Tika, and Tyler Lepley, is all great actors. So, and Crystal Fox especially, the light was kind of shined on her, because, she was the one telling the story, so it had to be very believable, and it was. And I was just, I wasn't crying or nothing like that, because that's just not what I do. But it was a very, like, oh, snap. Like, I could have believed that it was Crystal who had this experience. And maybe she did and maybe she didn't. But it was that good for me. So, she tells Candace, she said, I loved you. I loved you then. I love you now. And, that's the reality. And so Benny got on my nerve, because Benny tries to sometimes force emotion between them that's not there. And even at one point, before she even started telling the story, he goes, okay, you know what? I had enough of this. Candace, let's go. And he tries to grab her. And he's like, we're going to the house. And she was like, I'm not going. Like, and they end up freaking fighting, like, sibling. It was very sibling. I really believe that they were siblings. And she was like, if you don't get away from me, he was like, oh, you better quit playing, like they were really just arguing it out, and she was like, I'm not going, Benny, and that was that. But he tries to sort of force, because after Hannah told the story, she was like, that's the truth, and I never wanted to tell you that. And she's like, when you told me you got raped, it devastated me. And that's what she was like, and I know, like, I was human and I treated you bad. I didn't like that line, because it made it seem almost not like an excuse, but it didn't do it justice for me. I thought she should have been like, I know I wasn't the mother I should have been. Like, that's the line I would have put in there. But maybe I was human, and I'm messed up, and I'm sorry for that, because I treated you, even though you reminded me of him, you were not him. You were a child, and you needed love, and you needed nurturing. And I was still finding myself in these men. She told her that. But I didn't really like that just alone. Like, I'm sorry, I was human. It was kind of like, okay, add a little bit more. But all in all, she was trying to say that she loved her, and that she knows she didn't treat her as well as she should have been treated. So after that, Candace is like, good story. And she's wiping her eyes. She's like, I don't believe most of that. She's like, except, yeah, you treated me like HE double hockey sticks, for sure. She goes, so you can leave now. And Benny at one point tried to be like Candace, like, after she tells the story, like, hug her or whatever. And Candace was like, what? And I knew that wasn't going to happen. So it was like, Benny, stop trying. If she's not feeling that, then she can't give that. She can't feel emotion that's not there. So of course she didn't hug her. She told her to get out. When he went and she was like, you know what, Benny? No, we could leave. And she goes to sit down. She takes her shoes off. And Candace was like, what is that? Some voodoo? Because she takes them off, shakes them out, and does like that. And she goes, Matthew 10:14. She goes, Matthew 10:14, what the heck does that mean? And she walks out. Now, Matthew 10:14 is a scripture. This is like a sum up, because I don't know it verbatim. But it's like, okay. So I'm going to try and tell this the best I can, everybody. Okay, so Jehovah for me, um, told he said the cities that you go to that do not listen to you, to the preachings, to the words that you're saying, take every time you leave that city, every time you go from one of those, take your shoes off and shake them out. And he says the city of Sodom and Gomorrah will have more mercy than them on Judgment Day. So I was like, dang, that was deep. Like, dang, Candace, that was kind of like her saying pretty much like in more colloquial terms, which I tried with you. And now whatever happens to you, that's what happens, because now at this point you have to come and reach out to me. And I don't necessarily, we've been there with Hannah saying, I'm done, I can't pray for you no more, I've tried everything. And that's her daughter, so there's always amount of reaching out that she's gonna do. But this, I think, was supposed to be kind of standoutish, like she really means, and I do think that Candace will realize that she has nobody, first of all, aside from Benny, so she needs to stop treating him like crap. And then just, if she's not, you and your mom are not, you're not going to be probably, going to church together and stuff. That's not, whatever. But I think, is going to realize that she does, even if she doesn't want her mom in her life, she certainly needs her there. Because I think Hannah's getting to that point where she came over there. Like, you know what? Even that baby knew we had to fix this. And Candace is getting on my nerve, but not for this reason, because I do think that, well, I do know that certainly a string was put on the relationship. Well, first of all, because Hannah has admitted that she wasn't as motherly as she should have been because of where Candace came from. She was like, it was such a fight where you came from that I knew I loved you, but still that was always messing with my mind. So, and it was like, okay, fine, but then you ended up letting the same thing happen to your daughter that changed your life like that. You know what I mean? So I do understand the hatred that Candace has for her, because even knowing this now, it's like, wow, witch, you went through this and one of your boyfriends came up and they raped me. Like, you weren't protecting me like you should have been. So I'm not mad at that Candace is not accepting her apology. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So Benny and Hannah leave and Candace is in the room crying. She lets it all out, that there was a lot of dialogue in that scene, so I may come back to it if I think I missed anything. So, okay, yeah, they leave, and then we go to, I believe, David, okay, because I have arrows on my paper, so if it's not, then we're going with David anyway. David, okay, goes down to the police station, because remember, Justin, okay, went and told him, because that's his father-in-law. Justin went and told David that his son is in jail and that, you need to go ahead and help him out. So he comes down there this week. And David, this is where it's going wrong for me with David. David, you're a federal judge. And Veronica, let me just say this. I like how David is a nice person. That's where we could really contrast him and Veronica. But if I thought at one point David was going to be like, you know what, let me do it. And reach over the desk and grab the phone. But he didn't do it, and it got on my nerve. Okay, so anyway, he go up in there like, I need to see Jeffrey Harrington. He said, oh, is he an inmate? He was like, he was arrested, yes. And he's like, well, it doesn't work like that. Visiting days are Monday. He was like, I'm his attorney. He said, oh, okay, well, let me call the DA's office. And David was like, why? And he was like, oh, we have to let them know anytime there's visitors. Fakery. That's all fake. George probably was like, call me if Jeffrey's attorney gets down there, because he's trying to play games. Like, it's freaking George. Whatever. I don't care for him, by the way. Just, he's getting on my nerve. He's real uppity. And I will actually not. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I like Veronica better than George. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. Like, when they go head to head, I'm like, I just want Veronica to win because I can't stand him that bad. I don't know. I just don't like him. So, anyway, so David is like, okay. So, the dude calls him. It was a brother, by the way, so I really didn't appreciate this. He gonna say, oh, they're not answering. I'll have to try him again later. And David was like, well, can you try him again now? They're probably just busy down there, whatever. Like, it's the DA's office. Call him again. He's like, sir, I'll do it later now. Do you want to go have a seat? David go to sit down into between these two women. And the one woman was like, are you a lawyer? And David was like, yeah. And she was like, well, my boyfriend is in here because they said he shot somebody, but it wasn't him. I know it wasn't him because actually it was me. And David was like, oh, actually, I don't practice law anymore. Like, I'm a judge. I'm a federal judge. And she was like, that's that BS right there. I said, and they gonna rub her stomach because I think she was pregnant. I was like, it was a sister too. I said, no, for real. You gotta have her out there on ghetto like that, Tyler? For real? I was over it. So yeah, David, you needed to be a little bit more like like how Veronica would do. If you want to keep your job, I suggest you get somebody out here that could actually help me, so I can go see my son. Okay, because the fact that he was there all night, we'll get there. So all right, Sarah actually ends up calling Jim, and she was like, Jim, he was like, Sarah, I thought I would hear from you. He was like, oh, so are we on for tomorrow? And she was like, Jim, you know I can't. Come on, please. And he was like, oh, are you trying to appeal to my moral compass? He's like, because I don't have one. Make sure you're here tomorrow, lunchtime. She was like, Jim, I can't. You know, I'm work at the DA's office now. I can't be. He was like, you don't tell me what you're going to be doing. He was like, because if I remember, you know, I saved you and all this, that, and the third. And so she's like, Jim, please. And she was like, you know, I can't tell you anything about any cases. He was like, you're going to tell me whatever I want to. Didn't this motherfucker say? He was like, well, you're going to be talking into a pillow. Now, it took me a second to get what he was saying. And then I got it. And I decided that I hate Jim even more. So I'm over him. I can't. Like, Tyler, why would you even write that in the script? I mean, I was actually down at the studio. So I told Tyler ran that line by me. I said, no, Tyler, this is PG-13. We have youngsters watching the show. I don't want that line in there. You know what I mean? I don't want that line in there. And he told me, listen, I'm taking it out. I don't know what's wrong with people. They call me. I don't know. Anyway, I told Tyler, no, I don't want it. I don't want that. And he told me it's fine. Now the line that I wrote had Sarah saying, jump off of a cliff and my number will be changed by tomorrow. Okay, now that's the line I wrote in replacement of his line. She'll say that and just hang up the phone. Tyler said that works, and then bam, I watched the episode tonight, and here it is. That's why I don't work with Uncle Tyler. That's why I don't work with him, because he thinks because I'm his niece, I'm going to give him some leeway. You don't have that, Uncle T. Moving forward. So he said, you're going to be talking to that pillow when you come on down here tomorrow. And he hangs up the phone. She talking about, Jim, please. He don't care about it. First of all, he was trying to sleep with her. And second of all, he does definitely want information on things that are going on. I'm over it. Sarah, just, girl, get it together. So Benny and Hannah are now, they're home. And she looks and she's like, oh snap, like he washed the dishes and everything. And Benny was like, who is David? And she's like, that's the guy that fixed the sink, because he left her a note saying like, I hope your day gets better or something like that. Okay, Derek. And so she goes to sit down. He's like, Mom, I just want to say, she was like, Benny, I said all I have to say about that situation. He's like, I know. I just want to say that, you know, I'm sorry and things of that nature. And she's like, it's okay. He's like, you know, I believe you, right? She's like, yeah, I know. You know, she was like, it really did happen, Benny. He's like, yeah. Did you ever think about counseling? And she was like, I did. You know, I prayed to God. I prayed. He's like, okay, Mama, but I'm talking about, did you ever actually think of actual counseling? She's like, well, what money? I'm sitting here like, exactly. And he was like, he gets to a point where he says, you know, if I borrow some money, no, I don't, this is where I'm confused about. There was at one point where he, I think, told her that he was borrowing some money for the tow truck. And he was like, because Mitch's cousin or something like that, he said is out sick, so I'm going to be driving his truck. And so that's how I'm going to get the truck. Or it was something like that. But I think he said, if I get some money, will you go to counseling if I pay for it? And at one point she was like, no, Benny, I'm not going to let you spend your hard-earned money on that. And he was like, please, Mama. And she was like, okay. So he's like, I'm going to go and I'm going to go call Mitch. And she said, okay. She calls Derek. Derek, my boy Derek. And so when she calls him, Derek, his name is Derek David, so it's messing me up. What type of, never mind. Black folks, just moving forward. So she calls him and is, I just want to thank you for everything. He's like, oh, it's no problem. She's like, so what do I owe you? He's like, well, I told you it's under a warranty. She's like, appreciate you. And thank you for washing the dishes. He's like, oh yeah, of course. I just wanted to, help out where I could. And she's like, was there anything I could do, but like pay you back or whatever? He's like, well, how about some coffee? And she was like, what? He was like, I'm asking you out on a date to coffee. And she was like, why? And he was like, well, I just think that you have a lot going on right now and I could maybe cheer you up. And she was like, oh, thanks, but no thanks. And he was like, okay, well, let me know if you change your mind, just call me. She's like, I won't. And he was like, wow, you're really blunt. Like, that reminded me of Candace. Because Candace, remember, who was that? Oh, I think it was Oscar. Remember, he was trying to get her to go to, like, freaking New York with him. She did end up going. But he's like, if you want to go, call me. And Candace was like, I won't. She said, I won't. So that reminded me that Candace was like, Hannah was like, I won't. And he was like, wow, that's really blunt. She's like, I'm sorry, I just got a lot going on. I just got to tell it straight. And he's like, well, okay. And, they hang up the phone. And she says, thank you once again. And Catherine comes out of the cut like, so, how'd it go? And he was like, Catherine, you was listening this whole time? She was like, yeah. Now, how'd it go? He was like, she said no. She was like, oh, I'm going to go talk to her for you. He was like, no, I don't even want her to know that I told you. Like, don't. And he was like, you're really not going to give up. She was like, no, but for now, I'll let it go for now. But she's still going to be trying to hook them up because she just thinks that. And then he even tells her she doesn't sound too happy. And she goes, maybe I should go over there or something. He's like, no, then she'll definitely know that I told you. Just don't. She's like, fine, but you're making things so complicated. And then she goes, are you finished? Like with the fridge, I think he was fixing. She was like, he goes, no, I'll let you know. She was like, okay, well, hurry up. Like I said, oh, the rich white woman that came out, huh? Moving on. Benny goes outside, calls Mitch. And Mitch, he was like, no, just in case you guys didn't know, Erica and Mitch they're actually together in real life. Priscilla and Brett. And it's Priscilla and Brett, and then it's Tika and Nicholas, who is freaking Justin. Also, we got a lot of interracial things going on. And Gavin Houston, Jeffrey, is dating, I don't know if he's married to her, but he's dating a white woman. Because I wasn't sure, but then I was like, oh yeah. That's what, not saying it matters. We got a lot of interracial going on this show. A lot of it. On and off screen. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I don't know. Because I don't know about Benny yet. Is Benny seeing anybody? Like, moving on. So, yes. Benny calls Mitch. And, Mitch is like, okay, you want me to come pick you up? He's like, yeah, I'm ready. He's like, well, my uncle's not here yet, so we'll just kind of be hanging out till he gets here. He's like, that's all right. He's like, are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, all right, I'm on my way to come pick you up. Okay, cool. Veronica calls Benny because he actually goes, somebody's on the other line, so just call me when you're here or whatever. And it's Veronica. So Veronica's, oh, hi, Benny. And he's like, oh, hey, Mrs. Harrington. She's like, please call me Veronica. And she's like, I just really wanted to thank you for saving my life. He's, anybody would have done that. Nah, that girl was gonna let me die. He's like, I'm real sorry about that. Well, it is what it is. Are you still in the hospital? Nah, I had to go run some errands. Well, can you come back? I really like to thank you in person. Mrs. Harrington, Veronica, please. Okay, Veronica, I really have a lot going on right now. Please, could you just stop by? Like, I'm in debt to you. I really want to thank you in person. This would sound like she's trying to get a little boom boom all up in the hospital, and I don't appreciate it. I don't. Nobody else got that vibe from her. Like, she was thinking of maybe getting a little something, and when she's in a hospital bed, looking a mess. Yes, I did say she looked a mess, because, I'm tired of people always saying she looks perfect no matter what. No, she don't. Now, Angela Robinson, the actress, she does. But Veronica, you look toe up. I'm over you. So he's like, all right, I'll come down there. She's like, thank you. Hangs up the phone. She's all giddy. I can't. Okay, what they call that? The hero syndrome? Like somebody saves your life and you think you're in love with them, but you're actually in love with what they did. Like that's actually a medical diagnosis. Or like a mental diagnosis. Anyway, guy was on Dr. Phil, but y'all know doctors be saying Dr. Phil is a fraud. Just wanted to throw that out. I don't know. I'm not trying to discredit him. Go watch Dr. Phil. I'm over it. All right. Shout out to Dr. Phil. Moving on. So Benny says, okay, I'll come on down and see you. You messing up, Benny. So then, and what do you mean you're in debt to him? Like, what do you mean? And I hope he utilizes that if the time comes up, and I'm sure it will. Then we switch to Candace. Candace then set up a fake desk. Now, did y'all notice that? She's trying to act like she's a businesswoman. I can't. So this is where Candace, this is what I said before, like that. It's not irritating me that hasn't forgave Hannah. she's irritating to me just on another level. Just that, first of all, it's a fellow sister, so you get on my nerve with that. And then I don't appreciate it. I don't. So she just set up this little fake desk that she made and puts it in the corner, to which it's a knock on the door. It's who we later find out her name is Gia. And she goes, "Oh, you kept me waiting. Don't ever do that again." She was like, "What?" She said, "So how long have you been escorting?" She said, "Excuse me?" She said, I'm not an escort." She was like, "Oh, okay. Keep telling yourself that, honey." And then, so she's like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "And where'd you get that dress from?" You know, and then she's like, "Come here." Comes up on her, tears the dress down the middle. That was some cheap fabric, girl. And the girl was like, "What are you doing?" She said, "Turn around." Turn around. And she turns and she said, "Okay, nice behind, nice chest." She said, "You're going to make us a lot of money." She said, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I'm not a prostitute." She's like, "Okay." Like I said, keep telling yourself that. "Give me your purse." She snatches the purse out of her. She's like, "Hey." She's like, "You grab for this purse again, I will beat you down personally." So she's going through her purse, she's like, "Let's see what's in here." And so she was like, "Gia, is that your real name?" She looks at her ID. She's like, "Gia is your real name." She said, "Honey, you were made to be a prostitute with that name." She said, "Also, you need to have a fake ID because it's not really smart to have your actual ID on you just in case the vice come around here." And she said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a prostitute." She's like, she said, "And just so you know, desperation leads to being arrested." "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." And it just kept doing that. Like, it was kind of getting on my nerve. Girl, we already know. "Well, how much money do you make a night?" I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not. She said, "I can make you up to 10,000. She said, "What?" "Yeah, 10,000. If you listen to me, I'll tell you everything that needs to be done. I'll get you. Why don't you just do it yourself? I'm on the bigger and better things." She said, "And pimping is that?" She said, "Oh, pimping is definitely where it's at. So, unlock your phone." No. "Unlock your phone." "No." She smacked her. And the girl was like, and she said, "Unlock your phone. Don't make me have to ask you again." Unlocks the phone. "I'm going to put my number in here. And I want you to call this girl. Her name is Erica. I'm putting her number in your phone. Call her and tell her I said to hook you up. Okay. Then Marie is gonna come and do your hair." She said, "You're actually really pretty. You gotta know how to work it, girl. You gotta know how to work it." Okay. And I said, "I can't with you, Candace. I can't." So then the girl finally, "Oh, this is my first time escorting." She said, "Okay, you want me to believe that now? Like, are you serious?" And then she said, "And pick up the phone when I call, because I will be calling you." She was like, "And I just texted your number to my phone, so don't even play that. Okay, and I'm going to call you later tonight. We're ironing out all the details." And she goes, "Well, why are you still standing here, ho? You're dismissed." And she leaves. Like, this witch thing she said, "I'm your pimp now, and you're on several pimps' territory right now. I'm your protection." This witch then set up a fake desk in the middle of the room and proclaimed herself the pimp. Like, the number one pimp. Like, I'm over it. I can't. Candace is getting on my nerve. The whole entire scene got on my nerve. And she told her, "Now you only work here Tuesdays and Fridays." Okay. Now, if she says she gonna be making her up to 10,000 a night, girl, I'd be like, I'd be like, wait a minute. Now, I ain't trying to be doing all of that, but you know what I mean? $10,000. Can you imagine all the rooms she gonna have to be going into, all the stuff she gonna have to be doing? 10,000. I'd be like, that do sound like a lot of money, but girl, what you trying to have me doing? Okay, you know what I mean? I can't. $10,000 is not enough. But Gia's eyes got all big, like maybe she's in school or something. Y'all think? Remember the Players Club with Lisa Ray? She was all doing all that at the Players Club. She's trying to pay for school. I'm over it. Moving on. So she then told the witch, "I'm your pimp now, and make sure you pick up the phone when I call." So she didn't Erica this witch. She Erica'd her. I'm calling her Erica. She's Erica'd. I'm over it. So then we switch. I'm just over it. Like, I'm over it. We switched to David. David then spent the whole freaking night at the police station. Now, I'm sitting here like, David, I've been with it. If I was David, a federal judge, and this little cop behind the little counter as the secretary is not going to let me in to see my son, not even freaking call the DA's office, because you said you was going to call again, but there's no way they busy the whole entire night. I've been with it, pulled a Veronica. See, this is where you would have needed, because Veronica would have been like, I am not about to, first of all, she never would have went to sat down in the first place. But since you did, David, you should have been like, okay, and after a certain amount of time, you should have got up and been like, okay, this is what you do. Okay, let me reach over the counter here and make the call since you have a problem doing it. So he goes back up there. He said, excuse me, I've been here all night. Like, what the heck? I can't see my son still. He was like, sir, I called the DA's office. Nobody's answering. He said, nobody's answering. Are you kidding me? He said, sir, you want to calm down? So he calls up Jim. Jim, you got any pull with anybody down at the DA's office? Nah, man, I'm sorry, I don't. And he's like, why? What's going on? He was like, Jeffrey's in jail. Veronica had him arrested. What? On what charge? The murder of Quincy Maxwell. For real? She did all that because she still can't accept the fact that Jeffrey is gay? And this, he was like, she refuses to deal with it. He's like, no, man, I'm sorry. I don't know anybody down there. But you know who would? Name that still moves mountains, Catherine's last name. She's like, yeah. He goes, yeah, even though her father's dead, that name. And he's like, okay, can you call her for me? She was like, he goes, she's going to resent you for asking me first. You got to call her yourself. And he's like, David, keep me posted. This was the part where Jim tries to act like a real friend. I was over that. It was fake. It was, as a matter of fact, I told Tyler, just edit that out. I didn't even need it there. So he calls up Catherine. He's like, Catherine. She was like, I'm not doing anything for Jim because he's like, I need a favor. She's like, it's not for, he goes, it's not for Jim. It's for Jeffrey. What is it? Veronica had him arrested. What? That treacherous witch. On what charge? The murder of Quincy Maxwell. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe this. Do you have any pull with anybody down at the DA's office? Can you help me out? You know I do. Okay, could you please call somebody down there? She's like, yeah, I'm on it. And how is she doing, by the way? He's like, I don't know, I haven't spoken to her. Well, I heard she was in, she goes, the car accident must not have been that bad or something. Car accident? She was in a car accident. Yeah, you didn't know? No, I didn't. Do you know how she's doing? Who cares? And she hangs up the phone. She's like, I'm going to call down to the DA's office. Click. And he's looking concerned, but he didn't. Honestly, I expected David to be kind of punky and be like, car accident, and like run out of the police station to the hospital or something like that. He didn't do that. He kind of just had that look. He's definitely concerned, but he's not, oh, like, oh my gosh, it's my wife. Because we know if they would have actually still been on happy terms, he'd have been out. You know, even if Jeffrey was down there, because he can't get to him right now. So he would have came back. But he did have a concerned look, but he didn't run up out of there. Next, we get to Justin and Jeffrey. Now, we got Justin coming in mad as heck. Remember last week, Wyatt didn't call Jeffrey's phone, and Justin is mad as a hatter. Alright? So, he comes down there, gets Jeffrey off the cell, shoves him in the in the interrogation room, where I'm assuming he keeps turning off the freaking cameras in the volume. Nobody's suspecting anything? Like, why in the F are you, every time you're here, there's nothing in that room? I can't. Anyway, so he gonna say something, oh, so this is what you do? Oh, to bash your face, and what are you talking about? Did you find my dad? Oh, for real, Jeffrey? That's how you gonna act? This is what are you talking about? He gonna throw the phone on the table. Look at it. Look at it. And it's Wyatt calling him. He was like, what do you want me? My hands are cuffed. What do you want me to do? He clicks the phone for him. He's like, okay, hey, Wyatt. He like, I can't talk right now. He said, why you pick up the phone? I'd be like, because you blowing my phone up. I can't talk right now, but you keep calling and calling and calling. So here I am. How you gonna have the nerve to, you pick up the phone? Stop calling me. Anyway. Like, I was just over it. You know what I mean? Everybody had funky attitudes, and everybody just, I was over it. So, he goes, tell that a-hole to stop calling me. Justin gonna say, oh, I'm the a-hole? Because, no, he's standing there the entire time. And so, Wyatt was like, you got this clown on the phone? Oh, I'm a clown now. Like, just, they going back and forth. Wyatt, hang up the phone. That's what Jeffrey telling Wyatt. Wyatt, hang up the phone. He like, no, I'm not hanging up. Matter of fact, Jeffrey, let's just tell him. We're lovers. Because he gonna ask Justin. He was like, so, are y'all lovers? And then Justin was like, what the heck is it to you? He's like, it's a lot to me because we're lovers. And I said, now, Wyatt, go sit down somewhere, please. Please go sit down, Wyatt. I couldn't with him. Okay, Jeffrey's like, okay, come on, Wyatt, stop. Just cut it out. Now, remember, Wyatt don't know where he's at right now, so he doesn't know that Jeffrey could potentially get his ASS whipped because he is in handcuffs and all of it. But you still need to be quiet. Because what I don't get what's the purpose. Anyway. So he gonna say, oh, you still at home? This is Justin talking to Wyatt. Yeah, I told you I'm at home. Oh, stay there. Okay, I'll be waiting on you, toots. He like, all right, good. Wyatt hangs up the phone. He like, all right. He get off the phone. Justin gonna say, oh, so you was lying to me? Nah, I wasn't lying to you. Oh, for real? Because these emails say otherwise. And why he blowing him? He calling you 7 times. You got 7 missed calls by him. And you gonna tell me nothing is going on? And he's like, and what about these emails? Oh, I love you and I want the best for you. And he's like, he's my friend. Of course, like, I want the best for him and all that. He's like, oh, well, what about this one? And it was Jeffrey, like, oh, I still want you and all that. Jeffrey, now, okay. I'm telling y'all, if I'm getting a cold, I'm completely over it. And I'm suing Tyler. Because I was on set. It was people sneezing and everything on set. And I'm over it. Moving forward. So, Jeffrey, now he never really has came out and said he's not in love with Wyatt anymore. But we're just kind of at that point where it's like, dude, are you getting over Wyatt? Like, what are you doing? Are you still hung up on this dude that do not want you? Are you still hung up on him? He's not even does that. He don't even want you, which he don't. He's not gay. So what is, at least Justin is hung up on Jeffrey, but he gay. So it's not like you pining after a straight dude like Landon and Charles. Thank God we didn't see them tonight. So Jeffrey, and I was going to say maybe those were from a long time ago, but I feel like he would have said that, like, look at the date or something. That's from a long time ago. How he acted all embarrassed, it suggested to me that it was a recent, because they're journals to himself. And because at one point Justin is like, who are these even to? Like, who are you sending these to? He's like, myself. He was like, what? Yeah, they're journals. That's why you shouldn't have gone through them. They're my private feelings. He gonna say, you know what? I can't even believe you. I can't believe this. I'm going out looking for apartments for us. I said, Justin, did you say apartments? Like living together? You don't have, first of all, you still married to your wife. Jeffrey is engaged with a baby on the way. Who in that? And you think, and mind you, his mom's not dead, Justin. And you think you two are about to run off into the sunset together all of a sudden, which the last time I checked, he's still not able to admit that he's gay. So I don't even get where you're at about even being upset with Jeffrey if there was something going on between him and Wyatt, which there's not. Why would you even be trying to be in his business about it? When did they have a conversation about being in a committed relationship? Because Jeffrey just looking dumbfounded. Like, he's missed every freaking thing. Every conversation that Justin is blowing their relationship up to be, Jeffrey must have missed all of them. Because Jeffrey's sitting looking like, I thought we were just laying up together. Like, I didn't think, you know what I'm saying? Like, Justin is playing a Nate Future. And Jeffrey's sitting up, well, wait a minute. I didn't say all that, So Jeffrey's like, you know what? I'm done with this. Just take me back to my cell. If you don't, I'm going to start banging on the door and I'm going to start screaming. Oh, he moves out the way. He said, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, see what happens. Jeffrey go up to the door and start banging on it. Justin come up behind him and start choking him. Talking about, you played me for a fool. You played me. And choking him out till Jeffrey can't even breathe. Next week on the Has and Have-Nots. And going back, he even said at one point, he was like, don't make me send you back there, bloody. Like, don't play games with me. Who are these emails to? And then Jeffrey had to tell him, I can't. I honestly and truly can't. I think that was everything, you guys. Let me know if I missed anything. Because it wasn't really so much dialogue. Just with that first scene. That's why I'm like, did I miss anything there? I'm going to end it there just because last week it cut off. And then I had to do like a fade in. Which I'm glad now because I'm learning the editing process. So I'm cool with that. Appreciate y'all. Ace, boom, boom. Keep rocking with your girl. We're going to see some improvements. All right. Shout out to Doran. I got to your review. Hilarious. Off the chain, man. For last week. For our Undercover Vice. I finally got. I don't know if you did a review for this week, but I'm going to check it out. The Jedi, I started watching yours. Did not finish it. But I got you, big bro. I'm going to check yours out for sure. For sure. You already know. And thank you for the tips and the pointers. And guiding me through. You feel me? Alright, y'all. It's the one and only your girl, Jada J. I'm going to get this up and let's talk about it. It's your girl, Jada J. Peace.